Thought I wouldn't be back, huh? Fuck you, new video, baby, it's Ace Attorney! Odds are, most people haven't played this legendary franchise, considering there hasn't been a mainline game in, hold on a minute, 6 damn years. I can assure you, however, us Ace Attorney fans are some of the most proud and dedicated supporters you can ask for, constantly praying at the possibility that Capcom gives us more attention at E3, or whatever the hell it's called now, while consistently getting shat on. But I'm not here to talk about the lack of games today. I'm here to spread some love about this amazing franchise that is so much more than any other surface-level visual novel. These games make you use your head. I know, for a lot of you that's difficult, and tell some of the most fun stories in unexpected ways. So without further ado, let's get this started! You've probably heard that sound effect before, and it's likely the only thing you know about the series, so let me catch you up to speed. Ace Attorney has you take on the Japanese court system as the spiky-haired, lovable dumbass lawyer Phoenix Wright. Now, to tell you some surface-level Ace Attorney lore, here's how it goes. Bam! It's a tutorial, and your name is Phoenix Wright. Your best friend Larry Butts, gets accused of murdering his girlfriend OJ style, and Phoenix has to step in. But this is your first case ever, and you're a silly little man who forgets how to read. Luckily, you have a MILF boss who's levels smarter than you, who also happens to be a genie, but let's not get into that. And she spoon-feeds you everything you need to win the case. The case is closed, you go out to drink with your boss, and all is well that ends well. Oh, wait. What the fuck? When it comes to Ace Attorney, what makes it so compelling is the fact that this is an interactive story that places you into a goofy, yet at times serious and rather tragic world. You may not think of it at first glance, but these games have some of the most well-developed characters and storylines in gaming that really makes experiencing these games that much more impactful. The original Ace Attorney trilogy is home to some of the most amazing adventures you can find, like solving mysteries around the death of a spirit medium with a massive personality who happened to be her old boss while her sister gets framed. Or defending clowns. Okay, well, maybe not that case, but this series introduces an assortment of different situations where you have to manifest evidence essentially out of nothing. Heck, half the time you can barely get a correct autopsy report. But these games are all about thinking critically regarding your circumstances and breaking down how the different murders occur. You're placed in this reality where anything or anyone could have committed the crime, and literally anything can be used as evidence. A lot of the obscurity helps to add the charm to the series, and for me is why it's been another franchise I was able to fall in love with. You get it? Cause like, middle, ace, it'll. Why did I do this bit? Part of what makes the Ace games so memorable are the characters. First, there are the more obscure characters, who, in their own way, bring a charm to the game. We have a hemorrhoids lawyer, an alternative reality Kardashian, Danny DeVito's neglected cousin, and this piece of shit. Duh. These supporting characters helps you add different energies and viewpoints with the more grounded ones. I mean, looking at the main duo, Maya and Phoenix, it's one of the best cases. Maya is a young spirit medium, while Phoenix is a relatively older and relatively normal lawyer. The dichotomy between the two helps the tone shift effortlessly in game. Together they form a chaotic yet interesting dynamic. On the other side, you have Edgeworth and Gumshoe. While not always at the center stage, when these characters do interact with each other, you get a similar type of dynamic. Edgeworth is the young and uptight prosecutor with a squeaky clean record, and Gumshoe is an old, grimy goofball detective. And his name is Dick. But again, the differences in character make for fun interactions that help add to the story. The main characters are really where we get some of the most interesting and realistic emotions, specifically when we look at both Phoenix Wright and Miles Edgeworth. I mean, we see all sorts of jokes and images between the two of them online, but they actually both have tragic backstories that enhance the narrative. Edgeworth's initial fear of loud noises is deeply rooted in the trauma he faced as a child, which, without spoiling too much, ultimately led to his decision to become a prosecutor. There is a particular case where it finds you exploring different aspects and the motivations behind Edgeworth's actions, and it makes you care about him a lot more as a character rather than just being the plain villain that you face off against in court. It makes you think about the context that, and at the end of the day, the court of law should be a place in the name of justice. Shifting back to Phoenix, his final motivation to become a lawyer is explained much later in the series, and it was rooted in another murder with a loved one being involved. And, oh boy, throughout the series, good old Phoenix goes through several lifetimes of trauma. Like, damn, this guy needs a therapist. Giving the main character an actual purpose for their actions is something that the Ace Attorney series generally thrives in, and creates a much more compelling atmosphere. Even the more sidelined characters have specific motivations that make them feel more interesting as well. One of my personal favorites was the old boat shop owner in the DL6 case. No matter how silly the storyline gets, we can still empathize with the characters and what makes them feel so real. Except you. Never return, you piece of shit. Ace. You know what? Screw it. This was a terrible bit. Now I've gone a bit over the characters, but let's talk about some gameplay. Outside of the court, there's definitely a lot of detective work that you have to do. Looking around for literal scraps that may be useful as evidence. Is that a fucking parrot? How the hell am I gonna use a parrot? Oh. Holy shit. Though many items are obscure, they all provide interesting twists to the storyline. The real action in these games comes from the court days though, where, with no plan, some dinner table scraps and your trusty badge, you have to solve this case while in court. But it's that unpreparedness that gives a feeling of excitement to the narrative. You have to put all the pieces together last minute to defend your client from being indicted. That last minute nature is even played into further in certain cases, adding to the suspense of different situations, making some of the most memorable moments in the series. Games sometimes give us options for different endings and storylines based on our morals, but Ace Attorney really hits home in the ethical dilemma a defense attorney may face, the possibility that your client isn't innocent. Though the world is fiction, these characters have actual stakes in the outcome of every trial. There is one particular case where the player has to make the decision to abide by the moral principles established in each of the characters. The weight of our decision can even lead to a different ending for the trial. At times in these games we don't have a choice, where we have to sit back and watch the reality of our situation sink in. The possibility that a beloved character we may be invested in isn't innocent. The suspense, alongside understanding the gravity of the circumstance, manifests a genuine interest in the outcome of the case, like watching your favorite TV show unfold while starring as the main character. Ace Attorney graces us with some of the funniest, most infuriating, most somber, and sincere moments that help build an amazing adventure. If you can take anything from this video, it's that if you ever play this game, whatever you do not type Phoenix X Edgeworth on Google. It's not worth it. But for real, I promise that these games are worth checking out, and if you give it the chance, it will quickly become one of your favorite series, so please just go out and play one of the games or watch a YouTube series on it. Maybe one that happens to be ongoing and that may receive an episode in the next couple of weeks. Or you can just go watch Game Grumps. However you choose to get into the series, you'll be in for one of the most chaotic, yet sincere journeys in a court of law, where you take center stage as the Ace Attorney.